Drugs. See your girl in the car. System.
What is going on, full-time family? It is time to talk some MMA. Man, I wanted to go live earlier and drop the prediction video for this upcoming weekend's pay-per-view fight card, but we are on our path and purpose, grinding right now. And like I said, man, I got other priorities right now, so we're getting to it now. We got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a good show. Conor McGregor accusing Nate Diaz of taking steroids. What in the flying flipping flapjacks is going on? That threw me for a loop. Conor McGregor, we're going to watch his video of his McGregor Fast program, possibly, and also where him and Nate Diaz had a back and forth where Conor McGregor accuses Nate Diaz of steroids. The back and forth was hilarious. We're going to talk about that, cover that. Is Nate Diaz on steroids? What do you guys think? We're going to talk about that. He has been lifting weights. Let me show you this. Before you make your judgment. Look, he has been lifting weights with Big Boy. He has been lifting weights with Big Boy. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if Big Boy's on steroids. I know he takes a lot of pre-workout, but Nate Diaz is getting pretty beastie. We're going to talk about it. Tyron Woodley getting fucking, oh, I'm sorry to say it, he got punked backstage. It was almost like when Khabib's boys surrounded Artem. He might have been outnumbered, but either way, man, it put Tyron Woodley in a bad situation. He did not look good coming out of this situation. This man challenged Tyron Woodley's manhood to a boxing match. He called him out. He said, I'm a champ too. Jalen Love, man. That's his name. He's a boxer. They might have to set this one up, but I feel bad because the way he was talking, man, he might be ready for Tyron Woodley. He definitely wants smoke. We're going to play that video. We're going to discuss this. Tyron Woodley's going to have to address this. Daniel Cormier even commented on this situation. Tyron Woodley getting into it with Team Jake Paul backstage. We're going to talk about a lot of Jake Paul back and forth with MMA fighters. He's going in on Daniel Cormier. Cormier's responding. Jake Paul's got a mouth on the kid. That's why I said before the fight, I don't fucking like Jake Paul at all. But I'm not going to automatically side with some chick and some crazy allegation. But Jake Paul is a complete asshole. He's talking shit. He's done a great job. He's a great entertainer. That's what he is. We got Tony Montana and Toby Johnson in the building. My guy said Francis Ngannou is the king of the earth. That is wild. He's crazy. Hey, Francis definitely a savage. I mean, who's he going to fight next? Is he going to fight Derek Lewis? Are they going to get John Jones up there? Baddest man on earth. With what we've seen in his last fight, with the head kicks, the takedown defense. Hey, I gotta agree with you. So we got a lot of things we're gonna talk about today. We can jump right into it, but before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Don't be a baby back bagel biting beta male, because you know what time it is. It's full-time MMA. Alright guys, we're going to start off like I said. We're going to go over this, and we got a lot more things to talk about. We're going to preview UFC 261. We're going to do all that. But let's get into the show, because we do have so much to talk about. Conor McGregor accusing Nate Diaz of steroid usage. Nate Diaz has responded, and the exchange was pretty hilarious. Now, we're going to play this video. This is how it all started. Conor McGregor, he came and said, USADA tested me twice, or tested me right before this. Blood and urine. That's twice this week. I don't blame them. I'm an animal. What irks me, though, is there's never an announcement of athletes caught anymore. This means they can keep it quiet, or the tainted supplement bullshit excuses are accepted. So Conor McGregor's coming out and taking shots at steroid users and tainted supplement excuses, and he's also showing a vigorous workout that if Conor McGregor posted this video, he had to post this like right after he got tested by USADA, because if Conor McGregor would have posted this and didn't say something about being tested by USADA, everyone would have said Conor McGregor's on steroids. Check this shit out. I mean, he just looks like a beast in this video. I mean, he's maxing out the machine, hitting the crunches, man. Cross body. Check this shit out. Let me play this. Conor McGregor coming out saying he got tested by USADA twice right before that, and you can see for good reason, because if I would have seen that, I would have said, hey, USADA, go test that guy. I'm sure. And so he took it further. He said, hey, Jeff Nowitzki, how come the public isn't told about positive tests anymore? How after Nate Diaz's steroid debacle, where he produced his own nutrition company's tainted multivitamin, was instantly cleared prior to a mega money fight? Are we now in the dark on test results? This mother truck, Conor McGregor, I don't know, maybe he was hitting the bottle. I mean, he's supposed to be in camp for Dustin Poirier, but I mean, the proper 12 is never too far away when you're Conor McGregor. But he came out guns a-blazing at USADA, at Jeff Nowitzki. He wants answers. He's accusing Nate Diaz of being cleared before a big money fight. So what he just did is he said maybe the UFC was working with USADA to clear Nate Diaz right before a big money fight. Like, you're questioning the UFC's legitimacy, USADA's legitimacy, Nate Diaz's legitimacy, and you're the money guy. So if you're saying you believe the UFC is willing to do shady shit for money, what the hell have they done for you? You're the biggest money guy in the sport. So Conor McGregor knows how they would operate. So he's obviously skeptical for some reason. Conor McGregor says everybody is on steroids. Steroid user Nate Diaz. Taking Nate Diaz's quote, using it against him. This is like some reverse psychology. This threw me for a loop. Nate Diaz is the one that's always been known as the clean athlete. The guy that, one of the very few guys that don't use any sort of performance-enhancing drugs. You know, there's been always people that say you can beat the system, the drug test or more IQ test. If you fail, it's because you did it wrong. And then you all, like Conor McGregor, you got to question, the more money the fight is worth, what are they willing to allow? You know what I'm saying? Like, so But Nate Diaz has always been very skeptical of the UFC's drug testing, and been very public about it. So now Conor McGregor's coming and flipping that on its entire script. And I just showed you the video with Nate Diaz lifting with Big Boy. What if Nate Diaz is like, fuck it, if you can't beat him, join him? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't think Nate Diaz would ever do that. But Conor McGregor does. Conor McGregor does. Nate Diaz is going to respond too. He kind of continued to say, anyways, thanks for clearing that up for me, Jeff. The silence make perfect sense. Also, where's USADA over 50 clean tests completed jacket I see everyone else get? I want to wipe my ass with it. Coming at Jeff Nowitzki and USADA. Jeff Nowitzki finally responded. He said, Conor, I answered every question thrown my way on this presser back in 2019. Here's the link if you missed it. You have my number. You know I'm always available to discuss one-on-one. Respect. Now Nate Diaz got a hold of this whole situation, and he's talking about McGregor fast, McGregor's cardio, his notorious cardio. The notorious is notorious cardio. Nate Diaz's McGregor fast system, this is what it does for you. Now, this is where it gets funny. Conor McGregor had to correct him and said, silly goose, that was pre-McGregor fast. McGregor fast was created in the aftermath of that fight. Here's an image of the direct result of me following the McGregor fast program. Your face looked like a bowl of leftover salsa. Now download the app, you little juice head turkey. Come on, man. Where are... Conor McGregor has no chill. He Nate Diaz's face looked like a bowl of leftover salsa, and called him a juice head turkey. Like, coming at him with the steroid accusations, leftover salsa. Conor McGregor has no chill. Nate Diaz responded. There was a little bit more back and forth, but whenever I first saw that one, man, I almost fucking spit my water out. Nate Diaz said McGregor fast system. This is what steroids do for you. Conor McGregor obviously went on to lose, and he's had cardio issues afterward against Mayweather, against Khabib, against Dustin Poirier. Nate Diaz said you're supposed to learn how to grow, and that is something. I mean, McGregor fast is bullshit. I think we can all admit to that. We all know that McGregor fast was something that we've been hearing about forever, and Conor McGregor's cardio has not went anywhere. I mean, McGregor fast is some bullshit. Now Nate Diaz, that is one thing Conor McGregor did say. Hey, maybe Nate Diaz, you should make your own. That's one that actually makes sense. Nate Diaz known for his cardio, the triathlons, and all of that. Nate Diaz should have been the one to come up with Diaz fast. Nate Diaz could have helped out with it, the whole scrap pack. That's something that Nate Diaz, put the ego aside, take Conor McGregor's path and follow that. Nate Diaz should for sure have a cardio system out there that would help his whole entire family. It would be something that they could brand and that could carry them a lot farther than even the UFC could. As we're going to go to talk about later in this show, I mean, the UFC fighters are just making pennies on the dollar compared to I don't want to say UFC, I'll say MMA, but compared to other sports, even combat sports, boxing, Luis Pena said he made more money in his professional boxing debut on short notice than his entire MMA career before the UFC. So, I mean, just even an entry level on boxing, you're getting paid a lot more. The pay-per-views, you're getting paid a lot more. Ben Askren just made like $500,000 to lose a fight. That's pay-per-view money. That's big. That's McGregor. That's Red Penny Night type shit for UFC fighters. That's big money, and that's losing a high just against Jake Paul, man. Ben Askren just got cashed out. So, I mean, and then Dana White coming out talking about he's going to be slapping people with legal letters, challenging UFC fighters. He don't want UFC fighters to get a taste of that money. You got to be a hungry person. To come fight in the UFC and fight actively, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be chasing the fame. Once you get it, you're going to take it easy. You're going to rest. You're going to try and invest other places. You're going to try and spend your money. You're going to do a lot of other things aside from focus on your fighting career. So, I mean, I kind of see why the UFC tries to keep these guys hungry, to keep the sport maximum entertainment value, but at the same time, when you see what these other guys are getting paid, these UFC fighters are going to start to wonder. And like I said, they don't got to fight for the UFC. They can go There's a lot of things they could be doing in terms of the fitness industry, in terms of, like we talked about with Nate Diaz and the cardio program. You can go get a trade. You can go drive a motherfucking semi-truck if you want to. You won't get the fame and the glory, but you can make some good money out here outside of the UFC. So you're not forced to fight in the UFC. You're not forced to be an MMA fighter. Now, if you want to be an MMA fighter, you're going to fight out your contract. But you can go do anything else with your time, with your spare time. You can go pick up a camera, learn how to be a photographer if you want to. Go to school. Go do whatever the hell you want to do if you're not happy with your contract. But with that being said, these other guys are making a lot of money. All right, Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor going at it. Other than that, we're going to move on to our next topic. This one is all sorts of entertaining, and it's going to lead us into our Jake Paul topic because he's going at it with Mike Perry. He's going at it with Daniel Cormier. Tyron Woodley's team. Jake Paul is just wanting smoke. This guy is like a damn near, he almost reminds me of Takashi because he can't get right. I mean, he's making enemies everywhere he goes, in the boxing community, in the MMA community, in the women community, and I don't know who's rooting for this guy. But at the same time, he's very entertaining, and he's selling over 1 million pay-per-view buys. We're going to talk about that a little later. So he's doing it right in terms of making money and in terms of drawing in the eyes and the audiences, which is an entertainer's job. So with that being said, give him his respect there. Tyron Woodley getting into a heated verbal altercation with Jake Paul's teammate. Now this right here, man, I hate to see Tyron Woodley's manhood called into question, and obviously he's not too quick-witted because what he should have said is, I would beat your ass in a real fight. That's what he needed to throw out there is, hey, you do know in a real fight I would beat your ass. But he didn't say that, and so it just kind of looked like his manhood got tested, and he didn't even have a good response for it, man. It looked bad, man. I'm going to play the video if you haven't seen it yet. I'm sure you probably have, but we're going to watch it before we talk about it. Check this out. Let me mute this.
What's your name again?
J. Leon Love.
J. Leon Love.
Yeah, yep. Signed to Al Heyman.
Oh, cool.
Been a champ already. Did that. I got my belts too, champ.
I'm already Hall of Fame, bro.
That's cool. That's good. You still can't with me.
All right, my
If we talking about that.
Ain't no money behind you, bro.
Ain't no money behind you. Your just went down, didn't it?
Ain't no money behind you.
Did your stock just go down?
My stock still down.
Your stock ain't there, bro.
My stock still down. And I got 5 world. And I got 5 world titles.
You don't know about these.
I got 5 world
You don't know
titles.
about these, young champ.
I got 5 world titles.
Young champ, you don't know about these. All right, you don't know about these.
I got 5 world titles. That's all I gotta say.
No, Jake Paul was in the back gassing them up. Jake Paul was in the back and said, you got 4 losses in a row. His stock is down. And then he capped. Tyron Woodley was capping. He said, he's already in the Hall of Fame? Come on, guys. Why lie? Why not just tell the truth and say, I would beat everybody in this room's ass in real life. Me and Ben versus all of you. Let's allow wrestling and we're going to fuck y'all up. All of you. But Tyron Woodley looked bad in that situation and he didn't have to. Jake Paul was there egging his boy on. Jalen Love, and respect to him for challenging him in boxing. Because it's brilliant. It's brilliant. He is on a losing streak. Tyron Woodley don't got much better to do. He can go make 100,000, 250,000, and be a cold co-main event on Jake Paul's next card against Jake Paul's boy Jalen Love. What he should have said is, I will beat your ass in a real fight. Because Tyron Woodley looked crazy in that situation. And he lied, because I'm pretty sure Tyron Woodley is not in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why he said that on the spot. Tyron Woodley, no, we about to, I don't know why he said that. Tyron Woodley, they didn't put that man in the Hall of Fame yet. I know that. What the hell? Tyron Woodley, Hall of Fame. Cap. He said he belongs in the Hall of Fame in 2018. Come on. Come on. Tyron Woodley, why lie? He didn't look good right there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said you realize Love was capping, right? 29 wins, 24 wins by KO, 13 losses, 3 draws, 1 no contest. Hey, in boxing, no, that's his sport, though. If he's got all that experience in boxing, he ain't wrong for calling Woodley out in a boxing match. Because he'd probably win in a boxing match. Hell, Woodley's on a 4-fight losing streak. He might fucking beat him in an MMA fight. No, I'm just kidding. He's not gonna beat him, but Jalen Love challenged his manhood backstage. He had Tyron Woodley all fucking frizzled and frazzled to where he had to lie about being in the Hall of Fame. And he didn't even think to say, I would beat your ass in a real fight. How about that, fuckboy? Or he didn't think about that. I'm like, come on, bro. You can't be. He made us look bad. He made MMA. He looked like he got punked back there. You know what I'm saying? Someone said looking him up on YouTube. You talking about Jalen Love? Hey, he's on Team Jake Paul, and he made Tyron Woodley look crazy backstage. Tyron Woodley's on a 4-fight losing streak. Jake Paul brought that up. It is what it is. I mean, he's 37 years old. His best bet is going to be to fight Jalen Love on that undercard. That's going to be his biggest money fight. Fight on that undercard, and if you win, you might get to Jake Paul. Someone said Tyron called him out for MMA. Not in that video. Maybe he did afterward. He probably came out afterward because he had to. Like, bro, don't let him... He might have came out and cleaned it up, but in that video, he didn't say a fucking lick of word about MMA. So he made him look crazy in that video. Tyron Woodley's probably came out since then and cleared it up, but in that backstage video, Tyron Woodley looked crazy, man. And Tyron Woodley can challenge him in MMA. We know he ain't gonna fight him in MMA. Dude said he was never a world champ. Shit, he don't even have to be a world champ. He could have been he could be 10-5. I mean, just as a professional boxer, Tyron Woodley hasn't ever been known to have the greatest cardio. If Tyron Woodley doesn't get that knockout punch against a professional boxer, he's probably going to lose. I don't think Tyron Woodley would fare well. He has a wrestling base. I don't think Tyron Woodley would fare well in boxing. I don't give a damn if the dude's a world champion or not. I mean, Tyron Woodley was capping too. They can both be capping. But that dude's capping got the best of Tyron Woodley. He made Tyron Woodley look crazy. In my opinion, Tyron Woodley looked like he got back down there. Like the dude was about it. The dude was challenging Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley didn't do nothing about that. He let him challenge his manhood back there. I mean, it is what it is, but it's just like you didn't even hold it down. You didn't even say, yeah, but okay, you might be able to win a little boxing fight, man, but you do know I would beat your ass in a real fight, right? If we fought right here, I would whoop your ass. You know that, right? I mean, as long as we both know that, you can say whatever you want. I would beat your ass in a real fight, in an MMA fight, anywhere you want to do it like that. I mean, I would beat you. Shit, I'd probably beat you in swimming, basketball, soccer, but I'm not coming to your sport. No. I don't know if he was a world champion or not. He could have been. I don't know anything about boxing like that. But it sounded good. And he was challenging Woodley right there, live and direct. And Jake Paul had his back. Hey, and speaking of Jake Paul, okay, look at this. Tyron Woodley wants to MMA, according to you, I haven't seen it yet. Tyron Woodley calls him out to an MMA fight, but he'll box Jake Paul. Tyron Woodley will box Jake Paul for the money, but he won't box Jalen Love for the challenge. Because Jake Paul, everyone's calling Jake Paul out after that Ben Askren knockout, including Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley says, enjoy saying you're a fighter for another day. Try that shit against me and I'm catching a body. You and your mob of hoes, I wouldn't walk into a pillow fight with them. So he's taking shots at Jake Paul's boys. But he's saying if you try to that punching shit against me, the shit you tried against Ben Askren, you're going, I'm catching a body. So he's saying you can't do to me what you did to Ben Askren in a boxing fight, but you won't box the dude backstage that just challenged you? No, Tyron Woodley don't look good here, man. It is what it is. I'm unbiased. I fuck with Woodley as the champion. I'm not one of those Tyron Woodley is boring guys. But I will tell you this fight right here, I mean, this whole situation right here, the Jake Paul fight, the backstage incident, Tyron Woodley don't look good at all. Dude challenged him. Tyron Woodley lied about being in the Hall of Fame and didn't even say I'd fight you MMA, didn't say I'd beat you in a real fight. He didn't do anything. And then afterwards says I'll fight you MMA, but I'll box Jake Paul. I'll box. I'm just saying this just from perspective of from where I come from. This is what they would have said. You'll box the white boy, but you want to wrestle the brother. Make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? That don't add up, man. The dude that challenged you backstage. You'll box this dude with 3 fights that you think you can beat. But you won't box this guy. It's got to be MMA. No, that don't add up. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Somebody said, I hope you know this is MMA Quick Hits. It's full-time MMA. This is not me. That is not him. That is not I. This is not me. You got me. That'd be funny. Yo. Oh, he said like McGregor pumped him backstage. Tyron Woodley can't handle himself backstage, man. He ain't good in the moment. That's that mama's boy stuff. Let me chill. Then, oh my, Jake Paul is just catching W's. Team Jake Paul is just catching W after W after W in the MMA world. Not only did he fucking knock the curls off of Ben Askren's head, but he also got sparring footage he dropped where Mike Perry's admitting Jake Paul beat his ass. You can't say it was doctored, it was edited like McGregor versus Paulie, none of that. Let me play this footage and then we're going to talk about this. Come on, man.
Good job, dude. Kick my ass. No, it's good, bro. Good work. Good job, dude. Kick my ass. No, it's good, bro. Good work.
Jake Paul just sounded like he just kicked Mike Perry's ass. No, good work, man. Thanks for coming out. And we're going to go through Mike Perry's tweets and the context clues. He low-key admits he got his ass whooped. Come on, man. Come on. We got to talk about this, man. Jake Paul catching W's out here. Dustin Poirier brought this up. Dustin Poirier said he would like to see Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. He must not have known about the training session. Jake Paul said he was light work. In his own words, you kicked my ass. So we've already seen Mike Perry versus Jake Paul. Check that one off for Jake Paul. Whoop Mike Perry's ass in training, man. Now, like, yeah, an MMA fight, Mike Perry would win. Yeah, sure. We're talking boxing. Are you trying to tell me Jake Paul could beat Mike Perry in boxing? Because I'm not buying it. He might have been taking it easy on him. He might have been starstruck. I think that's what it was. I'm taking Mike Perry, man. He ain't no wrestler. He can punch, and he used to do some boxing before he came to the UFC. This is what Platinum Perry had to say in response to being called out. Mike Perry said, I was asking Jake Paul and his team to help me be great. We sparred. Well, what? To help me be great? You need Jake Paul? You're calling on the wrong people to help you be great, buddy. Mike Perry said, I was calling on Jake Paul and his team to help me be great. You lost me at calling Jake Paul to help me be great. Do I even want to read the rest? What? Seriously, you already lost me. You called Jake Paul's team to help you be great? Come on, Mike Perry, you got to do better than that. You better be careful bringing your girl over there around Giga Chad, by the way. Jake Paul is you, but richer, with blonde hair, younger, taller, smarter. You don't know. You must not know about female nature, Mike Perry. Better be careful bringing your girl around Jake Paul's crib. Only thing you got is the fact that he's scared that you might beat his ass. But the first sign of y'all breaking up, he's gonna fly her out there. Be real careful bringing your girl to the Team 10 house. She might even slide with the homie Jay Leon. Fuck you talking about? He said, I was asking Jake Paul and his team to help me be great. We sparred 6 rounds. The 5th and 6th rounds were my best rounds. He caught me at first, then I made adjustments. Showed up to spar, just me, my girl, and my baby. He took the girl and the baby up to Jake Paul's house to help him be great. Yeah, Mike Perry is fucking, by the way, if you didn't know, he's a little wild. If you didn't, I mean, you've seen him in his last couple fights. He brought like his girl as his corner woman. Only that didn't work out too well last time. But either way, Mike Perry, he's a couple screws. He got a couple screws loose. You know what I'm saying? Couple eggs short of an omelet. How do they say it? Mike Perry showed some sparring footage. It really wasn't nothing. Just a couple punches. It really wasn't much. He didn't have much to show. Mike Perry said he only had like this one clip, and it didn't show much. So that leads me to believe that Jake Paul got the better of the sparring, because if you're at the Team 10 house, you're going to get more than one video of sparring. You just didn't want to show the other ones because they show you getting clipped up by Jake Paul. So yeah, Mike Perry got offended. He this is what I wanted to talk about right here, where he kind of low-key admits that he got pieced up by Jake Paul. Man, you guys are unreal. I should beat him easily. The dude, he said, I should beat him easily? The dude can box. He's got a great team. He punched me in the face a few times. I started to get it back as it progressed. I'm talking about him because they brought me up. How do y'all live with yourselves? I'll put up my purse, my social medias, and my life. That's what I'm talking about. He said, let Dustin Poirier train me for a fight against Jake Paul. We'll represent the MMA community. Light work. That's what I like to see. You know, whatever happened in sparring, happened in sparring. It was Jake Paul's house. You might have been starstruck. You had your girl there, your baby there. It wasn't all on the line. It wasn't for all the marbles. So, yeah, you might have let him even get some in on you. It's the YouTube guy. He might have got the better of you. You might not have been trying your hardest. I'll give you that. But you did get clipped up that day. It is what it is. Now, when Mike Perry says he'll put up his purse, his social medias, and his life, that's where he's going to get everybody's attention. Because there's a lot of people out there that love Mike Perry, but there's also a lot of people out there that hate Mike Perry, and they would love nothing more than to see Jake Paul beat his ass and make him delete all of his social medias. Not so much the life thing, but the social medias. Oh, they would love to see Mike Perry off of social media. So that might be something that people actually would pay to see. But I think I'm rocking with Mike Perry in that fight. But like I said, Jake Paul, it doesn't stop here, guys. It doesn't stop here. He's coming at Daniel Cormier. Now, before we go to the Daniel Cormier, Jake Paul did say at the same time Mike Perry was coming at him, he updated and said that he sold 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. That's actually important, because when you look at all the boxing and UFC pay-per-view numbers in like the last 20 years, this one was in the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was in the top 10 pay-per-view buys of all time. Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Celebrity boxing, essentially. 1.5 million pay-per-view buys is tied with Mayweather versus Cotto. And it's right under McGregor versus Poirier 2. McGregor versus Diaz 2. Jake Paul has some serious drawing power. If he were to come together and fight an actual guy like Conor McGregor or something like that, another huge name, they're going to sell. They're going to be in the top 5 pay-per-view buys of all time. This kid's bringing in serious numbers. And that's why everybody wants a piece. He's the new red panty knight. I mean, if you're selling that much against Askren, I mean, McGregor's got numbers bigger than that one, obviously, but this kid's only 3-0 right now. He's on the way up. He's got to keep it up, though. Jake Paul coming at Daniel Cormier, man. He said, I'll beat the fuck out of your fat ass, too, just like Stipe did. I just lost monetization on this video, but I don't give up. Fuck! That's not what I'm doing it for. And Jake Paul is blasting Daniel Cormier. I mean, he came out on his podcast and he said this now. He's blasting Daniel Cormier. He's calling him out, and we all know, before you say it, Daniel Cormier would beat Jake Paul's ass in a real fight. Daniel Cormier would slam him on his head and maybe knock him out, man. Choke him out, man. Out wrestling, man. Yeah, we know. But we're talking about boxing. Jake Paul wants to smoke in the boxing ring. We've seen Daniel Cormier using a little bit of that boxing against Stipe. It didn't ultimately pan out. But Daniel Cormier's got a little bit of boxing. And Jake Paul wants some of them in the boxing ring. All these people are calling out Jake Paul. Well, Jake Paul said, Daniel Cormier, how about you come be my Huckleberry? Daniel Cormier's responding to this madness. But this stems from Daniel Cormier right after the Ben Askren fight saying, damn, Ben, it was hilarious. How could you let Jake Paul do that to you, Ben? No. He was truly hurt and sad and heartbroken that his friend just got knocked out by Jake Paul. And Jake Paul took offense to that. This is what he had to say. He said, so many fake motherfuckers in this generation. Daniel Cormier mimicking that. That's my boy Ben Askren. He's going to beat Jake. He pushed him in the face, so he's going to win now. He's talking about him before the fight. Then after the fight, Ben, are you serious, bro? You went down like that? Are you kidding me? I can't believe you did that to the MMA community. Logan said, shut the fuck up, bitch. I'll beat the fuck out of your fat ass, too, just like Stipe did. Cleveland shit. I swear to God, I'll beat the fuck out of you, Daniel Cormier. Oh, my, this kid is talking the talk. He said, I respect him. I think he's great. He had an amazing career. I'm appreciative of what he's done for the MMA community, but don't switch up on your boy like that. It shows your true character. And by the way, I'll fight him. Let's run the pay-per-view. They paid me good for this one, but the price goes up. By the way, I'm not greedy. I'm patient with this game. I get paid good as fuck, but I want to prove to my business partners that I do numbers. I'm here for a long time. This isn't just some jerk-off event where we're one and done. But on to the next one. We're going crazier than we did before. I have a prediction. I think he's going to ultimately fight his fucking brother, you guys. Jake Paul versus Logan Paul. I think they're going to end up leading up to that type of shit. Because they're both, I don't know, but I've heard they're both crazy. It's not like the other brother's the fucking cool one, the good one, the angel of the two. No, they're both wild, silver spoon, you know, YouTube money, party house, I mean, Giga Chad lifestyle. I mean, I don't think there's no big character change between the other. I don't know much about the guys, but I've never heard anything good about the other one. I heard they both got YouTube fucked up. They both went to that forest. I don't know much about these guys, but I do think that I could see them fighting each other in some mega fight in the future. For sure. Daniel Cormier is responding to this, man. We got a lot to talk about. I wish I could do more shows and like cut this up because my mouth's starting to get dry. I don't got to water up here. Let's try and speed through this shit. Daniel Cormier shrugging off the challenge, saying I would kill him, but he's also suggesting Tyron Woodley fights Jalen Love. Jake Paul said, okay, fat boy, so me versus you and Jay versus C. Jake Paul versus Cormier, Tyron Woodley versus Jalen Love. Daniel Cormier said, I mean, the way this dude talked to T. Wood makes my skin crawl. All these kids are going to get taught a lesson, I swear. And I can't wait for it. Jalen Love, you can't fight. Better respect dudes like Tyron Woodley before he puts his hands on you. He ain't been. He said he ain't been. He's setting it up for a boxing match. Daniel Cormier is setting Woodley up for failure because Jalen Love just might piece Tyron Woodley's ass up in a boxing match, man. So since you want to sign Tyron Woodley up, Jake Paul wants you to sign up. Set it up. Don't back out. Cormier said this dude would never fight me. He said I would kill him. Why would I ever fight someone like that? But my immediate reaction was I can't stand this kid, so it works. I can't stand this kid, but who punches down? You don't punch down to somebody. I'm the guy that's in the Hall of Fame. I'm the guy that won 2 world championships at the same time. I'm not going to punch down on some kid that's on YouTube that's like, fight me. Like, why? What have you done to earn the right to fight me? So no, knockout Ben Askren, your boy. So no, it's silly and stupid, but I would like him to fight Tyron. I would like to see him fight somebody more real. Don't fight Ben Askren at 190 bloated. Hold on! Tyron Woodley fucking won 5 world championships. And you said, what has he done to deserve to fight you, Cormier? What has he done to deserve to fight Woodley? He deserves to fight Woodley, but he doesn't deserve to fight you. Sounds like Daniel Cormier's ducking the fade. None of these guys want hands with Logan Paul in the boxing ring. Tyron Woodley don't want smoke with Jay Leon. Cormier don't want smoke with Jake Paul. But he'll sign up Tyron Woodley. You can fight Tyron Woodley. Fight someone that's not bloated like Ben. Taking shots at Ben for being bloated. What, are you on a diet now that you're retired, motherfucker? These dudes are looking crazy, bro. These MMA guys are making us look crazy out here in these YouTube streets. Seriously. Cormier just smooth ducked Jake. Woodley smooth ducking Jay Leon. Askren KO'd. Mike Perry fucked up in the sparring session. Damn. Dana White losing $2 million bets. That's fucking illegal. You can't make just $2 million bets with people. I'm pretty sure that's a law because Dana White's coming out like, hey, Snoop, ixnay on the bay. We did not bet. Stop saying that in public. You're going to get me investigated. You're going to have UFC fighters asking for more money. I couldn't even bet Snoop Dogg $2 million because it's illegal, guys. I know I'm only giving you $20,000 and I'm making $2 million bets. No, I'm not making $2 million bets. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I 100% believe Dana White made this bet. He just didn't want that shit to be public, and Snoop Dogg went wild with it. Pay me my motherfucking money! You know how that is whenever you win a bunch of money? Excited as hell. That's the first thing you think about. Pay me my motherfucking money! Let's go! He hella bet him. He just don't want everybody to know that. So he said that's fucking illegal. Dana White denying the bet. He did not want that to be public information. Alright, well, we're just going to look at all the fights. I still got to do my prediction video. Here we yawning. I've been hitting the gym hard, working. I got my business. Man, I just been having my girl do that. I'm damn near calling her my girl again because she's doing everything right and I'm still letting her in my life and I'm still working on myself. So, I mean, like I said, she's an asset right now. So, I can call her my main, call her my girl. She knows what time it is. But anyways, I've been having my main work my business because I ain't had the time between work I'm moving into my place May 1st. We're approved. I'm moving in May 1st. New apartment. But the gym, everything else, man, just fucking, I'm tired. So, that's where you guys are coming from, man. We're going to try and push through this stream, and then I'm going to get to bed so I can, get back to the grind, man. UFC 261 is coming up, and there's like 455 fights on this card. I'll show you guys. All the early prelims literally have like 13 fights. It's insane. Both the main card, we got Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. We got Weili Zhang versus Rose Namajunas. Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Those are the 3 title fights at UFC 261. And something crazy has to happen. It's the UFC. I mean, it seems like all the champions are going to win. All the champions are pretty solid favorites. But something crazy has to happen. This is the UFC. And I want Masvidal to win so fucking bad, dude. It's very unlikely, but if he won, I mean, the MMA gods have already blessed him with what he deserved in terms of his worth as a fighter, his value. But he deserves even more. And if he wins this fight, it sets up a trilogy. It could set up a McGregor fight. It could set up a Diaz fight. Oh my God, if Masvidal wins this fight, he's still got a chance to just do crazy things. If he loses, oh well, we'll figure something out. He can still fight Diaz or something. But if he wins, though, we still in the money. Toby Johnson said, love you full time. Let's get it. Blaze One Sports. Fury will kill Paul. Oh, yeah. I know you talk about Tyson Fury. Jake Paul versus CM Punk. That would do numbers. Tim Hutchinson, I seen Jake Paul rolling with Paulo Costa. He looked good. Oh, shit, bro. This dude's the real deal. Mike Perry would smash Jake, says Blaze One Sports. I got to agree with you, man. I got to agree with you. Let me go up on the chat before we break down UFC 261. Actually, I don't know if I can. Let me go to pop-out chat, and then I'll be able to. Tyron had a job in there. He was to check on the wraps and gloves on Jake, not to be distracted by love. Was that before or after the fight? Was that before the fight? He was check on, and yeah, no, he can, but he could have still said, hey, I mean, that dude Jalen had a job too, and he was back there picking shit with Tyron Woodley. It don't matter how damn distracted Tyron Woodley was. He did a good job of not being distracted, and this boy still got slept in the first round. Tyron Woodley was laser focused, wasn't he? Didn't help shit. Hell no. We got 7 likes. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Don't be a big back bagel biting beta male. 7 thumbs up. We need to get that up. If you're watching this on the replay, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Alright guys, let's get into UFC 261. Then we got a couple more things to talk about before we get out of here. This has been a long show. Woo! Excuse me. Alright, Usman Masvidal, Weili Zhang, Shevchenko. Weili Zhang versus Rose, Shevchenko versus Andrade. We got Uriah Hall versus Weidman. That's an interesting fight. Some reason that's a pick 'em. I feel like Weidman should be more of a favorite, but hey, he has been on a skid. But he got a win in his last fight, so that's interesting. Anthony, it was a split, right? Anthony Smith versus Jim the Brute Crute. I think Jim Crute might get put on a lot of people's radar on this fight. Jim Crute's actually a really good fighter. Anthony Smith, though, obviously a veteran. He's fought for the title and not somebody to count out. But I do think Jim Crute has a good chance. But we'll see how that goes whenever I get my breakdown and predictions. Prelims, Cowboy Oliveira versus Randy Brown. Dwight Grant versus Stefan Sekuliak. Carl Roberson versus Brandon Allen. Patrick Sabatini versus Tristan Connolly. And now check out these early prelims because there's a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fights on the early prelims. A lot of guys we really don't know. But either way, 5 fights, that's like a damn main card on the early prelims. We got 5 fights on the early prelims. 4 fights here, and then 5 fights. That's 14 fights. That's a lot of fights, man. And especially it seems like a lot for the early prelims. But hey, I'm gonna be definitely watching, and probably won't be live streaming. This will probably be one of the last times I'm not live streaming because once I get to my new apartment, it's full-fledged YouTube studio mode. We're getting sound buttons and all of that, and that's probably when we'll restart the channel so we can try and get back in good graces with the YouTube algorithm because this channel is mother trucking shadow band to hell. That, and we're gonna upgrade the quality and everything, so that'll be coming soon. Like I said, I move into my new place May 1st. Can't wait. Kamaru Usman not sure who's next after Masvidal, but admits walking away in the near future is an option. He's saying he might retire soon. Hey man, he might just walk away on top because there's really not a lot of guys left to challenge Kamaru Usman. He's clearing out the division. He's beat almost everybody. He's beaten them damn near twice. But the thing about this is he's looking past Jorge Masvidal. This is a if you beat Masvidal, which is probably he is a favorite. But at the same time, you're completely looking past your opponent, and Masvidal is a dangerous opponent. So that's not wise to do, no matter how much you think you may win or how good you may think you are. But let's read what Jorge Masvidal had to say. He said, at the end of the day, it's not about him, it's about me. I personally wasn't satisfied with the way I dominated him. I didn't feel like I broke him in the way that satisfied me. That's why I called for it again. When I'm going through my career and I'm older and I'm sitting down like, yep, broke him. Yep, broke him too. Yep, knocked his ass out. I definitely want to sit back and say, yep, I took care of that one too. That was light work for me. That's why I aim to do this again. I aim to improve on my performance. As you see, I'm still getting better. I'm still learning. I'm still growing as a fighter. Of course, April 24th, I'm looking to improve on that dominant win I've already gotten over him. And so he said, I've gotten a good enough time now to look upon that and gather my thoughts and work with my coach on the way to the approach I did April 24th. I'm always excited. I'm always a kid when I hear those words, and still. So April 24th, I'm aiming to go out there and hear those words again. I mean, he's already talking about retirement and looking back and stuff, in the future. And I mean, he's a dominant champion. One of the things I did think about, though, as far as a challenge for Usman, is what about moving divisions? I know he probably wouldn't want to fight Adesanya because that's his African brother. They're really close. I don't know. I think it's just their African heritage that made them close, being UFC champions. Same thing with Ngannou. They embrace each other because they don't train together. But 170, the next weight class up is 185. So logically, Usman versus Adesanya would be a fight that I think a lot of people would love to see. I would like to see that for sure. I could see Usman stepping up and facing Adesanya, but it looks like he would rather retire than going that route because that's not something he has ever entertained. So other than that, at 185 pounds, if you think about the contenders there, or at 170 pounds, you got Leon Edwards, and then there's really not a lot of guys left for Usman to fight that are going to be, there for him. But he could fight to break records. We'll see how that goes. A lot of guys get to talking about retirement also, just to help sell fights, make you miss them, before they're gone. So who knows? I don't think he's retiring until he breaks records because he's going for something like that. He wants to have a legacy, so it is what it is, man. But he should not be looking past Jorge Masvidal. Jessica Andrade talking some madness. We only got a couple things left to talk about, then we're getting out of here. Holy shit, I need a bottle of water, and I'm tired. Jessica Andrade calls Valentina Shevchenko not Amanda Nunes best pound for pound in the UFC. She's fucking delusional, crazy, wild. Stop it. Don't do it again. What the fuck are you talking about, Jessica Andrade? What the fuck are you talking about? Nunes is the champion in 2 weight classes, beat the best pound-for-pound female fighter at 145 and 135, broke every single woman at 135 down, even Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko has done nothing except for fight the girls at 125, and there ain't even an established division. She hasn't reigned at 135. No, she wasn't even the champion at 135. You know why? Because she lost to Amanda Nunes twice. So what the fuck Brazilian lettuce are you smoking, Jessica Andrade? Stop it. We don't want to talk about it. Valentina Shevchenko don't even believe you. She's flattered, but stop it. She didn't win the second fight even. Amanda Nunes won the 5th round. So stop it. Nunes is the best pound-for-pound female fighter in the UFC. Jessica Andrade might be smoking peyote. Yorni on J-Check says she's back. The baddest bitch on the planet is back. Yeah, Nope, she's delusional too. She's fucking psycho. She's crazy. What's she thinking? No. She says she wants the winner of Rose versus Weili. Well, sorry, if Rose wins, you don't get the winner because you already lost to Rose twice. Tatiana Suarez is still waiting. We got Mackenzie Dern up on the wing. We got a couple other ladies that would like to fight before you, Joanna. So maybe you can fight Tatiana Suarez and something like that in the meantime, in between time. But you're not going to be fighting Rose Namajunas. Yes, you could fight Weili Zhang if she wins because everyone says that fight was so good even though you just got your fucking head disfigured. I mean, my dad was like, man, I was watching this fight the other day. It came on TV, and this girl's head was way out here, and way out here, and way out here. And he was talking about the Joanna versus Weili fight. He was just talking about how bad Joanna got her head beat up. So Joanna sounds crazy. She's coming back for one last big fight. She got her boob job. She's over there doing TV in Poland. She's not focused on fighting. She's not coming back for a dominant reign. The weight cuts are going to be harder than ever. She's a fucking actor now. She's a faker. I don't want to hear it. She's older. Father Time loses to no woman. Sorry, Joanna. You're done for. And you're going to probably lose to no matter who wins this fight, even if you fight him. Moving on. Someone said, did you stop making music full time? I've just been grinding, man. I could probably do it. I don't have the time to do that at all. You know, those never really went viral or anything. They're not really incentivized for me to make them. The YouTube, I got shadow banned. I got a business now. I got the gym now. I got my full-time job. I got fucking moving going on. I got social life I gotta have. So between that and then plus the MMA news, I just don't even have the time anymore to. I haven't even thought about sitting down and making music. I mean, I probably still got the skill, but I just, sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot. I haven't done it in a while. Anthony Johnson's going to be fighting Yoel Romero at Bellator 258. That's going to be fun in the light heavyweight Grand Prix. I'm hoping Anthony Johnson gets the job done because I want to see Anthony Johnson back in action, and I want to see him take on Ryan Bader, who is Bellator's light heavyweight champion, and Anthony Johnson has a win over him already, so I would like to see them square off again in the future. But Yoel Romero is a great wrestler coming over from the UFC. I want to see this fight. This is one of the best fights Bellator has to offer. Rumble Johnson versus Yoel Romero. We're all going to be watching it. Can't wait. Last thing we're going to talk about is non-MMA related. This is for the fucking Red Pill brothers in the building. Robert De Niro unable to turn down acting roles because his estranged modern wife's expensive lifestyle. We all know and love Robert De Niro from so many of our favorite movies growing up. Everybody knows him. I mean, all the way starting all the way back to what, fucking Scarface. This this man is a legend. He's a legend. He's been in animated films. He's been in anything you can think of, man. Everybody knows the face of Robert De Niro. And he is forced at 77 years old to still keep working and working and working and taking low-value jobs because he's going through a divorce. A high-paying divorce. He didn't have the proper information, the proper knowledge to know to not set himself up in this situation. He didn't understand how marriage is set up to fail men. It's set up to incentivize women to leave you unless you are acting perfect at all times, unless you let her crack the whip, unless you submit to your wife. You can be divorce raped and taken through the divorce court system and hit with alimony, child support, all of these things. No matter how hard you had to work for this, no matter how much this person has already drained you, none of that. You will still have to support their lifestyle, even if your earning potential goes down. It was up there, you have to keep paying her lifestyle. That's what she's used to. So now Robert De Niro is out here having to keep working at 77 years old instead of riding off into the sunset like any other 77-year-old actor should be. This makes no sense, and this is at the highest level. You can be high value. This is what happens when you put that legal documentation to a marriage, to a relationship. I just want to put that at the end of this show, guys, because take heed. A lot of people get married early on thinking they're never going to have anything. They don't have anything early on in their life. They get pressure put on them to get married. They think it's the right thing to do, and they don't realize how bad the laws are set up against us. And with the current feministic mentality of a lot of these modern women, you're never going to be, they've got all the leverage. So unless you agree to completely surrender your manhood and give them leverage and cater to their every whim, they will be incentivized to leave you and take half your shit to where you have to work till you're fucking 80 years old or dead, no matter how much money you make. So never submit. Get submission. Don't give them leverage. Keep your leverage. And it is what it is, guys. That being said, good talk. Look forward to building up the channel, moving into my new place. See my chair with the fucking, hold on. I'm going to put the light in you guys' face. I know I already have. This chair's got fucking rips in it. I got clothes over it. I got fucking rips in this chair and all type of shit. I'm gonna take a picture of it. I'm gonna buy that. You know the cheer that all the streamers and YouTubers use, like the fucking racing cheer. I'm buying me one. I'm getting a green screen. I want a soundboard. I want a microphone. I want it all, and I'm gonna buy it. So with that being said, let's pull up the chat before we get out of here. I need to go get me some water. Someone said Mayweather didn't marry. It makes sense why he's got all that fucking money, because that makes a lot of sense. Hope you know this is MMA Quick Hits as full time, says Alex DeLeon. That's funny. I already read that. Tim Hunter says Jake Paul and Paulo Costa. Read that. Toby Johnson in the building. Savage Scavenger, did you stop making music? Tony Time. I was waiting for a full-time version of Laugh Now, Cry Later, like you did Tony's God's Plan. Laugh Now, Cry Later. What song is that? Laugh Now, Cry Later. Is that a song that you were saying to remix? YouTube. Laugh Now, Cry Later. Drake. Oh, is that the one with Future? Oh, Lil Durk. Oh, I don't want to play it. I'm going to pause that. I'm going to listen to that later. I might write something to it if I like the beat. You still got the raccoon hat? This raccoon hat? Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you haven't yet. Don't be a baby back bagel biting beta male! Because you know what time it is. Full-time MMA. Yep, there's the hat, man. The hat, old school. Fuck your time up. I might bring the hat back at the new place. Who knows? Who knows, man? I just felt like the hat was some kiddie shit. Now that I'm growing up on my motherfucking masculine alpha type energy, I feel like the hat was childish. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, I look like a grown-ass man wearing this damn raccoon hat. Someone said, you ever listen to Griselda? I don't think so. I have heard of him, though. I have heard of him. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to shut her down for the day. It is what it is, guys. Salute to Dion W. Scavenger. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. Don't be a baby back, bagel white bitch boy. I'm out.